Stabilization and assessment is an important type of program in the spectrum of care, and we don't want it to feel super restrictive, even though we need a more restrictive environment for kids who have some more severe behaviors. So we're trying really hard to create and maintain a home-like environment so that it doesn't feel like a hospital or it doesn't feel like a detention center. Those are the things that some of our kids have been to hospitals or detention centers before. And we want them to feel like they are kind of in a place where they can be regulated. They can experience what it feels like to be in a home, even though it's not their home. We want the kids to feel like they're here to do work on themselves and that we're doing it with them, in relationship with them, not you're going to have this done to you. It's a procedure that's being applied to you, right? Like, I think that's the difference. And there's little things about the environment that really cue kids to feel like they're doing it with us. And part of that is that home-like environment instead of the hospital feel. So because we're a short-term stay, we actually start this conversation the very first day they're here. When we're having conversations with either a referral partner or with the parents or with the student, we want to know what their hope is for when they're done here. A lot of the families that come to us are dependent on insurance, so we want to make sure that if they are needing to go to a program that's in network for their insurance or that is somewhere near their home, we're starting that research from the very beginning. Additionally, we have these regular updates throughout the course of treatment where either in family therapy or in our treatment team meetings where we're having conversations, parents attend those at least once per month. They're attending treatment team and they're getting an opportunity to ask questions about how progress is going for their teen. That way they have a better awareness of how far into this process are we, what still needs to be done, are we ready to start actually moving forward with the next placement or the next provider. And they can have some good awareness with that kind of communication that we have together. Once we've gotten to a point where the student is doing well on whatever medications they've been prescribed, and if they needed it, they've received their psychological testing. The psychological testing results come back before the actual write-up comes back. We have a better idea of, oh, okay, these are the diagnoses that are going to be in the report. This is the level of functioning for this kiddo. What sorts of providers or programs would be appropriate next? So we'll start looking very concretely at specific providers or programs at that point in the process so that we have a couple more weeks before discharge from our program so that we have something lined up at this new provider. It does feel very quick though. A lot of times it feels like there's a lot of work to do. And our therapists work really hard to make sure that their discharge planning is really thorough so that families know not only do they have good leads and more often than not an actual appointment to go to if it's an outpatient provider, they're also going to know that the therapist here at Stabilization and Assessment is available to answer any questions they have. So if they say, go to an outpatient provider and they're actually not a good fit, or maybe we need a different level of care, they've already gotten information from the therapist of a variety of options they could use, but they can also come back and say, hey, this didn't work out well. What would you suggest I do next? And the therapists are really responsive and helpful in that way, which I really appreciate. I can imagine what it would be like to be a parent navigating this whole process. And I'm proud to say that our team is working really hard to make sure that the best interests of that teen are taken into account and that we're really doing our best effort to create a good plan for them. We got a really heartwarming Google review not that long ago where a parent was talking about how grateful they were that our program existed and that it really did save their kid's life and that she's doing really well now afterwards, which feels really great. And we had one student who came back after having been at Stabilization and Assessment and then moving to traditional long-term New Haven, then came back just this week to have a conversation with students in the stabilization program and talk about their experience. And it was just, it's pretty moving to see how kids can really feel so good about their progress. There's a lot of work that we're doing to help them, but the kids are the ones who are actually doing the work. They're the ones who are making the changes, who are doing the new skills, who are trying to reconceptualize their idea of self. So to know that we've had kids that can go on and be successful in a lot of different settings is really rewarding, but it's just so cool to see a kid come back and talk about it in real time and try to inspire other students to do the same.